Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2025 Chevrolet Trax. This is the 2RS. It is finished off in crimson metallic, and the MSRP for this smaller size SUV is just over $27,000. So you can get into a brand new SUV for under $30,000. This is powered by a 1.2 liter 3-cylinder turbocharged engine. It is paired to a 6-speed automatic, and it pumps out 137 horsepower, 162 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent to the front wheels, propelling this 3,000-pound SUV from 0 to 60 in 8.5 seconds. And as far as fuel economy goes, you're looking right around 28 miles per gallon in the city and 32 out on the highway. Now, as we work our way to the exterior styling, this has the chrome Chevy bow tie, along with some black chrome trim accents just underneath that. There's gloss black for the grille, with plenty of cutouts to provide cooling to that engine. And then there's also a separated housing for the DRL, headlight high beam, and turn signal. So it's nice to see that strip that runs right through the middle of them. There's more gloss black in the lower section, as well as more cutouts. There's also a hidden sensor down below for the distance pacing, and then some nice lines that come down the hood. Now, this also has a really cool set of two-tone wheels. You'll notice that design for them. There's more plastic in the lower section of that bumper. It also surrounds the fender arches as well as that lower side skirt. There's also gloss black for the mirror caps. It's on the roof racks. There's a sunroof up top, and then all the window trim is blacked out as well. This is a very short SUV, but Chevy did a great job at packaging the inside, as you will see here soon. There's a body colored spoiler with the brake light and the wiper blade there. A large set of taillights in back. There's also a backup camera, all of the parking sensors, and then this does have remote start. So you can just hold on that to start it up. You can also hold on this to shut it off as needed. And then you have lock and unlock as well. Now, there's no power operation for this liftgate, but it's pretty easy to open up. You'll notice too, for the smaller size that this is, not a bad amount of storage. There's also a full-size spare with some storage surrounding that if you need to use it. There's a bin over on that side. You can remove this if you need to for more space, and you can also fold down the back seats as well. You do have to fold them down from inside that second row. So as we work our way to the back seats, door panel is pretty simple. It's mainly plastic here with a little bit of storage down below. And then here's the control to pull on to fold down the seats. So just to show that angle. But we have a really nice set of leather seats with the red stitching. And then at 5'10", I have a good bit of space. There's a storage pocket on that passenger side, a little bit of storage in the middle with some auxiliaries. I have about a 1/2 inch of headroom as well. So it is fairly small, but I can still fit back here. There's no cup holders or anything in the middle though, which is interesting to see. But you can make it work for a smaller size like this. And then up front, door panel is just like the rear. There is some leather and stitching along with this trim accent just underneath. And then there's the manual adjusting front seats with RS, more of the red accents. You have the height adjustment, recline and incline, and then you can slide the seat forwards and backwards. Now, we are greeted with a really nice steering wheel. It's solid and perforated for the leather with a nice flat bottom design to it. And then as we start this up, on the left side, there's all the cruise control settings, heated steering wheel, and distance pacing. On the right side, you have shortcuts for your Bluetooth, along with your music as well. So this rotary dial will go through the music shortcuts, so you can quickly do that. The rest of the gauge cluster is fixed. So you'll see fuel on the left side, engine temperature on the right, and then some more information in the middle. There's also volume and tuning adjustments on the back side of the steering wheel. Now, there's also your headlight adjustments, the dimmer switch for the gauges, really neat design for that air vent. And then as we work our way to the infotainment system, you have a lot that you can go through. So you have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, you can get into your climates as well. So when you turn them on, you have everything here that you can get through. You can also get into your maintenance along with your trip information and some gauges to monitor. There's your traction control. You can also get into your phone and music as well. So not a ton of information, but it's definitely very usable for every day. Air vents are underneath that, and then there's physical buttons for the climate. So you have temperature, you have fan speed, heated seats as well. So all of that. There's wireless charging with some more auxiliaries. There's also the engine start stop, as well as your lane keeping assist. You have cup holders along with an area you could place your phone. And with this in reverse, really nice graphics for that backup camera. There's also drive and a low range gear, and you can also use the plus and minus to shift as needed. There's the e-brake, a little bit of storage with some more in the center armrest, plenty of storage in the glove box, and then up top there's just the rear view mirror as well as controls for that sunroof and being able to tilt it. The sunshade is manual, as you just saw. And then here's a look at visibility over both shoulders. It's pretty easy to see, so for the smaller size, not a whole lot of blind spots, which is nice to see. And switching to this angle now, here we go. Definitely has a lag to it with that turbo there. But as far as handling goes with this smaller vehicle, just going at normal speeds, it seems to do very well. You know, this is a short SUV. It has a low roofline too. So its center of gravity is going to be lower than other SUVs that are quite larger. So surprisingly, it does very well around these turns. And this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the Chevy Trax. I will say for its price, you do get a good bit. As far as the tech features go, it's not an abundance of everything. So you have like the distance pacing, some of those more important features this has, and then you do have a limited amount of info on the infotainment system, but enough to daily drive this and use this every day. So it would definitely make for a great daily driver, especially if you're racking up the miles. And even if you're driving in the city, even if you're not driving in the city and you just want this smaller vehicle, it's a great option for all of that. So it's something that you can drive every day and you really won't have any issues with it, to be honest, until you outgrow it, if you get to that point, or you're just looking for something like this. But if you have a small family, it's a good option too. And hopefully you can tell, just going at these normal speeds, it's definitely quiet. And as far as the maneuverability goes, making a quick turn around here, not all that bad. And then we are back up to speed. So with my week with the Chevy Trax, it's been nice. Definitely a small vehicle though, taking some time to get used to it compared to what I own and drive a lot more of. But overall, it's great. You know, under $30,000 in today's world where vehicles are climbing, you know, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 or more, you look at this for well under half price, and you would expect to see this based on everything else in the market and pricing and everything. This is kind of what you would expect to see, and it's nice. So you don't want to break the bank. You can still get a good SUV for the money. That is going to wrap it up for the 2025 Chevy Trax. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.